Hey guys, welcome to Heart Academy for January 23rd, 2017. Oh, wait a minute, not Heart Academy. I get the fun time of making a video of LearnBop and how I use it in the classroom for you guys since I won't be at the meeting. I figured that this would be a good way to show you some of the ways that I use it in my classroom. So I'm just going to kind of roll through some things. In this video, I'm explaining what I first use it for and how I create some lessons for the students for LearnBop. So when I open up my account, it looks like this. I'm at my dashboard right now, and let me just refresh. And as you can see, I have all my periods here. Period 3, which, not there anymore, but you get the idea. Period 4, period 1. I have a class that I call program testing, where I put random students in it so I can see different assignments. These are not lab students in here. I'm just, I'm a student in here, and I, have other assignments so I can look at them and actually do them myself. I find it important to actually do the lessons that I plan in LearnBop for my students so that I know the questions that they are going to see, and to be assured there's no bugs or problems with the program. And I also use it to record Heart Academy videos for examples to help them through my period 8, period 6, etc. I'm going to look at period 1, and so the first thing that I did with LearnBop was before Christmas break, and what I did was I created assessments, 7th grade level assessments for them, so that I could figure out what topics I wanted them to work on individually during the winter break. So see here, these are 3 assessments that I created, and it was just a click of the mouse simply because simply because it generated it for me. So like what I did was generated the number system ones, the ratio, proportions, and expressions one, things that 7th graders should know or be a little bit familiar with. And I looked through all the questions and threw out some questions that I didn't want. And so if you were to do that, you would click on your assessments tab here and add new assessment. I'm just showing you how quickly I did it so I can get some concepts I needed to work on with the students. And then it says you title your assessment whatever you wanted to, and then choose an assessment because I didn't know which one to do or what I should start with. And as you can see, I shared my assessments, and so that if you use your account, you'll still be able to see the assessments that I did. Or if you scroll down even further, it gives you assessments, and this is where I pulled mine from. So I did, the grade 7 assessment for my students. And you can actually look at them and choose questions and so forth like that, and pick them out. So I went through choose the assessments and altered it to fit the student's needs. So, and then once you were done with that, you would do assign assessment, and it would go to every student. So when you do the assign assessments for every student, it doesn't tell the student if they're right or wrong. They just go and take the assessment however long you give them to do it. My students did the assessment over an entire week, so 5 days, in order to complete these 3 assessments at their own pace. And they were to complete it within a week, so I knew what to assign for the winter break. So like on this one, number system assessment, now that everyone is taking it, because remember this is around the time that I did it, I could see the results. And what happened was that with these results, I put myself in class as a student again so I can see what everybody's doing and how it looks to them. With the results, it created LearnBop lessons that I wanted them to do, suggested really. And so I took the suggested ones, weeded through them in and out, and assigned according to how well they did their own assessment. I can talk more about that later if you're interested in that, or I can show anybody who wants to do that, how to do that. And so what happened now is that with this assessment, as you can see, I like it because it gives me a percentage on how each student did within that assessment and what the topic was. You can see this is page 1 of 4 of the different concepts. Okay, and then, so that was number systems, go to the equations thing for 7th grade. Again, do proportional relationship ones. Okay. And, oh, wait, sorry. I'm going to go, I like to because I can go result student by student. And then it gives me the details of the student. And I could actually go and see the questions that they did to get that particular result. So it tells me, I love this too because it tells them how many times they spent on each question. See that? You can see the question. And then it gives you the recommended assignments, like I said, lessons from LearnBob, and I can just simply assign it to that particular student or the entire class if I felt so. All right, so quickly, after winter break, so through the assessments is how I designed the assessments I wanted to do during the winter break. And then I've done assignments since then, and what I do to create an assignment is whatever topic that I'm working in. Like, for instance, right now I'm working on personal relationships for the 7th graders. I would hit create assignment, and I can either do it one or two ways. I can search by concept, like here, ratios, or I'll put in proportions, proportional relationships, and I can read about it here. I can then click on it, and then I can either assign it to particular students, or I can assign it to the particular class, choose a start date in which they will see it on their account, and then choose the end date, and then hit create assignment. Now, what I like to do though is looking at it through this way. So I like to browse the content area. The students can't see this particular thing as the grade level, so I usually start at below a grade level. And looking at it through this way, when you browse through it through the grade level thing, I think it's a lot easier when you're deciding on what lessons to assign them, because you can do look at the questions that it's asking. So this would be one of the questions that they may have, and remember the computer can read it to them, and then you could answer it yourself, right? And then submit the answer, and it'll go through another question for you. Okay, so I could submit my answer here, it'll go through another question, and I can kind of look at it through that way to get an idea. Or if you're like me, create your own student account and go through the whole thing. And then I could also view the instructional videos that go with this. And then I can view the technology enhanced box, which allow moving around, that type of thing. Okay, and this is exactly how the students see it when in their account. And again, like I said, it doesn't say grade level, but if they're smart enough and figure that out, they can see that it's on the 7th grade level. But none of them, my students have figured that out. So let's see. Any type of thing, so that's what I do. And then I'll go through some of these BOPs, or I'll assign it to myself and see if it's a good lesson or not, and then just go ahead and assign. Now here's the thing about the BOPs. The BOPs are the questions. So let's do, okay, I'm going to do something easy for myself. Let me do, okay, kindergarten might be a little bit too easy. What I'm going to do right now is go through, give myself an assignment as a student, so that you can see what it looks like to go through it as a student. So let me not do anything that's going to embarrass me. So let's do 3rd grade level, number operations, base 10. And ooh, look at that. Add, subtract. Let's take a look at some of these questions. And there are presented in word problems a whole lot. And let's say I like that particular one, I'm going to assign. So when I assign it, I can assign it again to the whole class or a particular student. I do my start date, I do my end date, say I want to end on 26, and I hit create. And then it tells me, do I want to assign it to this particular student or the entire class in period 1? And well, I'm done. Okay? And so now this gives me a list of all my active assignments. It also keeps my list of all my past due assignments. So these are things that I've given out to students and so forth. A lot of details going into this. Okay? And then what I'm going to do now is log out, log myself in as the student. And by the way, I've created each screen name and username for all my students and their passwords. so I can easily get into their account and see things how they see it. Okay, so here we are. I'm this student, and I know that I have done these assessments. Well, I really didn't do them, but I created them for me as a student anyway. And I know that these are the assignments I'm working on. I always tell my students go straight to the class, and that way they have the tab option so it doesn't look as overwhelming. And so I go to my assignments, and I can see that I have one assignment to do, and then I hit view my progress, and as you can see I've got nothing going on, so then I would start learning. Before I do that, let me go back, my assessments. I love this because it tells you how well you're doing with your assessments, or it tells you, gives you kind of an idea of what's going on with that. And I kept mine up here so the students could see it, but I don't think any of them have realized that if they opened that tab that they would see the progress with the assessments they had done. But then again, like I said, when I gave the assessments, I told them that I'm not expecting them to pass this. I'm not expecting them to know everything that they see on the assessment. It just gives me an idea of some of the things that I'm going to want to teach during the school year, and that's how I presented it to them. And even as a student, you can see your own progress with things. Of course, I'm going to have a lot of progress here because I haven't really done an actual assignment all the way through. So let me go back to my assignments real quick. And so this is something that my teacher has created for me to do. View progress. I can tell I have not done anything, and so I would want to start learning. Once the student starts doing work, you will see a graph of their progress. And this is always very important. I tell them is that they need a 90% mastery level, so this has to reach 90%. They also have to complete 5 BOPs. Remember, BOPs are the questions. So they have to complete 5 questions at least. Some will hit 20 questions or whatever in order to get to their mastery level. But at least 5 questions have to be completed in order for them to be done with the assignment. So that can get confusing to them a lot of times too. So they have to have their mastery level and the amount of questions, BOPs, needed. All right, so I'm going ahead and hit start learning, and so here's my first question. And if I don't want to read it, you know, they can use the programs on their computers to have it read to them. A farmer harvests 349 tomatoes and 114 carrots one morning. How many more tomatoes than carrots does she harvest this morning? Drag and drop the digits to the boxes to show how many tomatoes a farmer harvests than carrots. Okay, so subtraction problem. You know, I'm about to bust out a calculator. 235. 235. And then I would submit my answer. And look at that. So it's telling me my progress level so far. And then go to the next problem. And as you can see from this screen, I know that I've completed one problem or one BOP so far, and I hit 5 in order to be done. 5 with my mastery level. Okay, so let's pretend I've moved on and I get a problem wrong, and this is the part that students really don't like. Or if I need, first let's do one thing. If the student needs help, instead of asking me, I tell them to go to this help button right here. Okay, when I go to this help button right here, what it's going to do is take them step by step. Keep in mind, taking your time to work through the BOP by using the step-by-step guide and hints will increase your learning mastery, whereas guessing will decrease your mastery. And so what happens is what it does is it takes you through 5 steps in order to break down a problem and answer it correctly. And so the students don't like that simply because they feel it's taking them longer in order to get to the correct answer. And I said, it's the same as me doing a lesson in class. And so they really need to slow down and see how the hints and help work. And if they don't get this part right, submit their answer, let's say let's get it wrong, it will break it down even farther. That's still wrong, breaks it down even farther, videos will then pop up and how to do a step-by-step process of whatever it is that they're working on. And that is the part that students hate a lot. I will tell you that. Simply because it's requiring them to do more work. And I said it's requiring them to do more learning, which is the purpose. And so what has happened through the course of time of using this, students have learned to slow down and read things carefully, which is a good thing. And also too, this is a little restart button. If they restart it, what's going to happen is they automatically go back to the question once they figure out, oh, wait a minute, I know what to do.